The 19-page dossier also makes it clear that many of the BBC's reporters and editors are muddling journalism with outright activism. Now, where have we all seen this before? New Zealand Herald, Stuff, Radio NZ, shall I go on? TVNZ, sorry, missed them out, can't miss them out. Back to Britain, of course, PM Keir Starmer has this to say through a spokesman. He did not believe the BBC was institutionally biased. No. Number 10 also denied the BBC was corrupt, a word Trump used to describe some of its journalists. Liberal Democrats leader Sir Ed Davies said Trump wants to destroy the BBC and take our money, and accused Reform UK leader Nigel Farage of egging him on. Farage said he spoke with Trump on Friday, telling a London press conference, he just said to me, is this how you treat your best ally? Which is a pretty good point. All of which tells you that the denial of what's obviously true, read the dossier, I recommend it, runs along predictably partisan lines. The left say everything is all rainbows and unicorns at the BBC, while Conservative leader Kemi Badenoch says this.
We need to start looking at who is joining the BBC and whether they actually understand what impartiality is.
The BBC's outgoing head of news, Deborah Turner, said this morning BBC News is not institutionally biased. What do you make of that?
I think that there have been serious questions to answer for a long time. This isn't just about the latest doctoring of a documentary about Donald Trump. It's about the way the BBC has continually covered issues of sex and gender. A lot of women out there believe that the BBC is institutionally biased against them. A lot of Jewish people believe that the BBC is institutionally biased against them. And so those are the people that I'm speaking out for. It's not about just, the high-profile names. It is about everyday people who watch the BBC and know that what they're watching is not true. The BBC is an institution that we need to treasure in our country, but the only way that we will be able to look after this institution is if it starts to have a little bit of humility and look at its own mistakes, rather than have contempt and sneer at all of the people who are pointing out those mistakes.
Now, if you're watching this, like me, I'm sure you're leaning more towards Kemi's take. Our audience here on RCR knows what's happening regarding free speech and the New Zealand Broadcasting Standards Authority's recent blatant and dystopian attempt to control independent media. And it's one thing for the BSA to attempt a backdoor approach on internet censorship, something the national government has yet to condemn. And quite another for a publicly funded broadcaster, just like the BBC, to trash the good faith of their viewers with bias and impartiality on matters of immense public interest. No wonder Trump is viewed by most as villainous, J.K. Rowling's depicted as an evil TERF, Israel is only ever a genocidal rogue state, and the media's presentation on climate change is swallowed as the whole truth and nothing but the truth.